All right, gentlemen, welcome to another one. It's a beautiful day. We're taking a walk by the river. It's a river. And we're going to be talking about Syria. We're going to be talking about the fall of Bashar al-Assad today. So unless you've been living under a rock for the past 2 weeks, you may have noticed that Bashar al-Assad's government has collapsed in Syria. He has fled the country. We don't really know where he is. There's speculation he's in Moscow, he's in the United Arab Emirates, or whatever. It doesn't really matter in the ultimate scheme of things. That's the first thing. And the second very important fact is that last time I checked, no less than 5 countries, European countries, have stopped processing asylum applications from Syrians, those being Greece, Germany, Austria, Belgium, and Denmark. And more countries will likely follow. Now, the logic being that with the fall of Bashar al-Assad, the Syrian civil war is over, and Syrians can go back home. I commend this. I support this. But truth be told, the Syrian civil war is not over, and it likely will not be over for some time, because Bashar al-Assad was just one of the many, many sides of that multifaceted conflict. There will likely still be conflicts between the victorious party, which is it's Al-Nusra Front. I don't care if they're rebranded. They are just Al-Nusra Front, which is like, let's call them an Al-Qaeda affiliate, is what they are. There's going to be clashes between those guys and the Kurds. The Kurds, of course, control the northeast of the country, near the border with Iraq and Turkey. The victorious faction, the HSA, is supported by Turkey. The Kurds are backed by America. And there's probably going to be clashes. I mean, they already have been clashes with Israel. Well, Israel has pushed out from the Golan Heights towards Mount Hernon, which is the regional high ground over there, and now they're within artillery range of Damascus. We'll see if these new guys, give any resistance to the Israelis, right? But given that they're backed by Turkey, there's a lot of horse trading that's going on behind the scenes, I suspect, between Erdogan and Netanyahu. So there's still some Russians trapped out on the coast of Syria, near the Mediterranean Sea. They're surrounded, but they will likely be allowed to withdraw because, they are in full withdrawal anyways, so that's what's going to happen. Anyways, there's going to be still some amusements in Syria. But for the time being, it seems that the European governments are investing in this beautiful fiction that wise and democratic leader al-Jolani led his people to the road of peace, and he ended the Syrian civil war, deposed the evil dictator Assad, yada, yada, yada. And this is a fiction I think that Europe is going to choose to believe because, frankly, we're just sick of the whole asylum thing, the whole refugees welcome thing. We're going to very quietly push that little episode of our history under the rug, and hopefully, and this is me, hope springs eternal, we're going to be returning all of the Syrian asylees and refugees back to Syria, because now it is officially a free and democratic and peaceful country. And anyone who points out that the leader of the HSA, al-Jolani, was a part of the general staff of Al-Nusra Front back when they were still associated with Al-Qaeda, well, we're just going to ignore that person and call them crazy, because we need to get these Syrians out of Europe. And thank fucking God for that. That's the first major outcome of the Syrian war, which we can look forward to. The second one, and this is really contingent on the country stabilizing a little bit, which I do believe the Turks have an interest in doing, and also the Israelis, with Russia on the ropes, and Iran being Iran, just having that sort of very typical Iranian incompetence. Turkey and Israel are going to be the regional powers. Americans are sort of stepping away from the region. So yeah, if the Turks and Israelis have an interest in stabilizing the region, well, yeah, they're going to try and stabilize the region. There's going to be, you know, bullshit with the Kurds because the Turks and the Kurds don't like each other. The Kurds are waging an independence/insurgency campaign against Turkey. They have been for many years. There are Kurds in Syria. It's a clusterfuck. I mean, it's the Middle East. Forget it, Jack. It's Chinatown. So if Syria is stabilized, then what we're going to see is the Gulf states are probably going to build a pipeline through Syria to Turkey and ultimately to Europe, which means that cheap oil and natural gas will start flowing into the continent. And that is a good thing. That is a good thing because this continent, Europe, is starved of energy. Now, part of that is because, well, Europe is just a resource-poor area, generally speaking. Part of that is because we are stupid. Well, the Germans have destroyed their own nuclear industry and are now dependent on French nuclear industry in order to power their industrial base. And part of it is because we very foolishly trusted that the Russians would keep up their end of the bargain with regard to the cheap gas and not use gas as a political weapon, which they did. Yeah. So this is not, of course, an ideal solution. Well, you don't want to get in bed with the Qataris and the Saudis too much, but what can I say? Beggars can't be choosers. Italians are tapping Algeria and Libya and probably Tunisia, right, for energy, but those reserves are not infinite. And unless we can get the Sahel stabilized and start piping shit in from Nigeria, yeah. But beyond that, the fall of Bashar al-Assad may actually turn out to be a very high positive for Europe because, well, now we have the ability to start repatriating Syrian refugees because, hey, Syria is no longer at war. That's, of course, not, as we said, not true. But we're going to go with that because we need to get these people back. And the second reason is because we are going to be able to start piping cheap gas and oil from the Persian Gulf now that the Syrians and the Bashar al-Assad and the Russians are out of the picture. And that's going to go a long way towards unfucking Europe's energy situation, which we need in order to re-industrialize the continent, rearm it, and we're going to have to do that. But that's another day, another video, yeah, and just stay awesome, folks. What can I say?